I grew up knowing I have an uncle, my father's brother was John Wexley, who was a playwright. He had 3 plays on Broadway. I grew up knowing that he was a communist. He was blacklisted. He wrote a book defending Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, um, and he was named. And that probably had the biggest influence in my life. Not that he was a communist or he wasn't a communist, because I don't think he was a communist in the way we think about communism. He was for social justice. That's what he was for, and that was very big in the 30s. And I admired him for having a voice about social justice, and that had an influence on me in the 60s. Um, I think him being blacklisted was a source of rage for me, that he was silenced in that way. I certainly have done a lot of research about many of the people who were silenced. Trumbo, I mean, it's an incredible amount of work that didn't get done. My uncle did do some ghost writing, after he was blacklisted, the way Trumbo did, but was never as successful as Trumbo. But that had a tremendous influence on me. Um, Uncle John performed in the Yiddish plays, learned staging. In fact, he staged his first play, The Last Mile. Himself, he staged his second play, Steel. And he must have learned that from his uncle. He learned that from Uncle Maurice. He was an actor too. In 1933, Uncle Maurice staged an English version of Yosha Cobb, and Uncle John played a part in that. He played the policeman or something, Moisha the policeman or something. So he was an actor too, and eventually went to Warner Brothers in late 30s, early 40s, and every time I turn on classic movies, Turner Classic Movies, there's one of his movies, screenplays he wrote. Most of them were anti-Nazi, left-wing kind of plays. But his being blacklisted had a tremendous influence on me. I know that it trickled down to both of my children. My son is a writer, and my daughter is a professor of theater at the Boston Conservatory. So I have no doubt that something that I was saying and doing and during their growing up about my Uncle John, about Uncle Maurice, had an influence on both of them. So there you have it.